A's Extra.
We're back on the Anglers Extra pregame show. It's the finale of a home-and-home between Chatham and Falmouth today at Veterans Field. It's time for the Manager's Show. Joe Puccio with Chatham manager Tom Holliday. And Tom, in the first game of the home-and-home, a 6-0 win on the road.
And we don't hardly win down there. That's always been a bugaboo for us playing down there. But God, we played almost a perfect game. I mean, you know, we didn't give up anything. Scored 6, had them in trouble all night. And I know a lot of guys have left. So now you're sitting there looking at your next 5 games, and I'm thinking, who does Falmouth have to bring up here? And because you know we're getting them 2 times in 3 days. That's another oddity. And I know they can score a little bit, but I think our matchup's pretty good for tonight.
In the Manager's Show before that one, you said that Holden Phelps would get a majority of the innings, and that changed when Stevenson pitched 7. What was your thought process throughout that game?
I don't know if I said that. You know, I was probably like maybe thinking in case something went haywire down there, because I wasn't going to blow Stevenson up on his pitch count, but he dominated. I mean, that might have been as good a pitching performance as we've had all summer, and we've had some good ones. And so now it kind of pushes him back into the last game of the year and Kimball into the next to last game. And unless I can't do any math at all, we have 5 left. Every one of them has the same value. So we have to anticipate, right, even the last game of the year, getting us in the playoffs. So Stevenson will go to the last game. Phelps, he stays in the bullpen. We'll give him a couple days and then we'll use him. But we're going to have a game in the middle of this 5 that we're going to have to use our bullpen. Because tonight we have Grice, tomorrow we have Hampton, then that next game's going to be bullpen. So this isn't going to be an easy thing to pull off. But, you know, scoreboard watching this time of the summer, and, I mean, even though we've had like a really weird year, been in all the games but 2, maybe 3, if you want to call that 2-0 lead that we got beat in the 9th inning, you can call that anything you want. I call it a lot, but I don't want to use that word right here. But as many good games as we've played, to be with 5 games left to be playing for something, it's going to make the players in our dugout play for something that they may never do again. I mean, you're playing to play yourself into a playoff. And some of the coaches, you know, I think they're starting to wonder, like, what's the value of Cape Cod? You know, what's it really about? But the kids that have been here all summer, if we make the playoffs, coming from what were we, 5-16, and we come back and make the playoffs, that's a feat. I mean, that's pulling something off. So it's kind of like fun again. You know, we're playing for something. It doesn't matter. You get into the playoffs, anything can happen. But right now, I like our team. I like what we're doing.
What advantage does it give you taking on Falmouth, 2nd game in a row?
I don't know that it's a plus, except we get to go with the lefty tonight. You know, and when I looked at their lineup going down, I thought Stevenson was going to have some trouble. Only Stevenson, who can pinpoint his fastball and drop that backdoor slider like a machine, could eat them up, because they like to turn and burn. So tonight with Grice, if Grice can move the ball around, spin it, I like the idea we have a left-hander going against them tonight.
And Falmouth only saw right-handed pitchers last time out.
And Falmouth is throwing a left-hander against us tonight. So, you know, we'll see if our right-hand hitters are ready. We've been so much better against left-hand pitching the last 10 or 15 games that it's almost like don't say anything, you know. But some of the guys that we added have really done well. And it's almost like Rubenstein coming in is like and taking over like that number 1 catching thing has made us a lot more confident with our pitchers. And that happened last year, you know, when our catchers, we kind of flip-flop catchers at mid-year. So it's been a really unique ball club. And God knows, you know, we're going to end up going through a ton of players again to pull it off. But I guess that's the new nature of summer baseball.
Paul Labriola and C.J. McKinnon, 2 pitchers activated to your roster now. With 5 games left in the season, how do you plan to utilize them?
Well, you know, we had Labriola up here early, and he needed a lot of experience. I didn't see it. I didn't see me being able to do that. So I asked him to go, you know, let me put you somewhere where you go play. I'll bring you back later on. Well, he did. He went, played in the Coastal Plains League. I guess he's done. And he calls me and says, you said coming back later. And I said, come on back, because we're short lefties now. So he comes back. The other guy is Johnny Long's friend from Pitt. He lives 6 miles from here. And he got like 18 appearances at University of Pittsburgh. And what you're looking for is I'm trying to avoid the most embarrassing thing would be to play a game at the end of the year where I have to pitch players. because this, you know, the way they were falling with Cam Brown falling, Austin's got a sore elbow. I mean, I'm sitting there going, uh-oh, we're going to end up playing the last game with players pitching. So I asked him, I said, you want to jump on board here for a week or 10 days? He said, sure, I'm just living over here. And so we picked up another arm there. And then I got a call this morning from a guy that if he doesn't sign tonight, wants to come up here and pitch. But I got to make sure we're alive. I don't want to bring somebody here and then us get eliminated. So we got one on hold. We'll see if how long we last. And then if so, we'll bring him up.